Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Officers Adda 247. Today, we will be talking about the unit number 6 for your IFS examination. November 2025, we are targeting via this target series, and I hope that you have watched the previous sessions as well, because chapter wise, unit wise, we are covering the IFS subject and other subjects as well. So if you have not watched those videos, I would highly recommend after watching this video, you must go through them as well. And if you have any doubt, do let us know in the comment section. So today we'll be talking about unit 6, as I have just told you. It talks about, or it will describe, the process of globalization for all of you. Along with globalization, you must know two more concepts when we talk about this chapter, that is deglobalization and your protectionist measure or the process of protectionism. When you are starting this particular unit, you must be clear with the definitions of all the three concepts, and that is what we will be dealing in today's class. Okay, so just give me a moment. Let me just quickly check. Yes, everything is fine. So if you have any doubt, any kind of doubt, you can just ask me in the live chat. If you are watching this particular video in the recorded format, then you can just leave the query in the comment section. So let's start the session, that is globalization, and what is the meaning of this particular term. A brief history before we jump on to the meaning. History goes like this, that the concept of globalization is an ancient one and it is being there since the 18th century. But in between today's era and the 18th century, there was a pause because of your World War, Great Depression and World War II. It forced a retreat from the globalization, and ultimately you were having a kind of deglobalization going across the globe. Trade obstacles were there. But when we talk about the resurrection of this concept of globalization, OECD, that is Organization for Economic Development and Cooperation, it helped to reinstate this concept of globalization again in 1980s. So OECD was sitting at the helm of reinventing this concept of globalization. In India, if we talk about our scenario, then in 1991-92, thanks to the LPG reforms, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization reforms, we were able to see the concept of globalization, and globalization ultimately led to two major things. One, the investments were huge as compared to the 1980s, and secondly, the job opportunities were also created in our country. Now let's move on to the definition of globalization, which is a very simple one. We'll keep it very simple for all of you. Globalization is nothing but the interconnectedness of the entire global markets, or for that matter, integration of the globe is known as globalization. Simple. So globalization is defined as a rise in economic integration via the financial markets or the interconnectedness among the nations. But the formal definition, this definition, the globalization which we have just defined, this definition is for your understanding. If you are sitting in the examination hall and you want certain keywords in your mind, then definitely integration, economic integration and interconnectedness among the nations will be the keywords. But when we talk about the formal definition, which was given by the World Trade Organization, it states globalization as the unrestricted cross-border flows of goods and services, capital, technology and labor force. So when we talk about moving the goods and services from one nation to another nation, or for that matter, you are supplying the workforce towards one nation of your, you can say, a friendly state is there, or for that matter, you are supplying the capital or moving the capital as a foreign direct investment, that is also a process of globalization. So next topic, which is again important to understand, what do we mean by fair globalization? So there are 5 components when we talk about the process of fair globalization, starting off with the economic development. So economic development must be ensured via the process of globalization. Only then we will say that it is undergoing a fair measure, that fair measures have been adapted to apply the process of globalization in a country. Next is liberalization. Along with the globalization process, your liberalization process must go hand in hand. How? The rules and regulations which are there governing the process of globalization, they must not limit the process of other players to enter in the country. Fine. So liberalized rules must be there, no red tapeism must be there, then only we will say fair globalization measures have been taken. Next, social development, not only the development of, you can say, the entire country based on the GDP numbers, that is known as economic growth, you must ensure that societal level or the societal groups also reap the benefits of the globalization. Then we have environmental conservation. Rapid construction should not be there. That is just one example. Rapid, you can say, development must not happen in the country, and due to that rapid development of your nation, environment should not take a back seat. So environmental conservation must be there. Environmental measures must be seriously taken up by the global players. Inclusion of the society, again social development. Along with that, the gender inequality must be curbed. All these measures if taken, you will say that fair globalization is going on in your country. Next, the most important point or the most important concept of this particular chapter is deglobalization, which we normally say that globalization is moving in the reverse gear. So deglobalization along with the protectionism. What do we mean by deglobalization? Simply reverse the process of globalization. So in the globalization concept, we have seen interconnectedness of the nations is going on. We are saying that yes, globalization is there. But if we disintegrate that particular interconnectedness, we have entered into deglobalization. You are no longer engaged between with the other nations, be it in the form of trade or for that matter workforce supply or your needs, whatever you want for imports as well as exports. If that particular thing is happening, you have entered into the process of deglobalization. Now, once your country has acknowledged that it is undergoing a process of deglobalization and it passes certain laws or reinstates certain laws, acts which back this particular process of deglobalization, now you have the protectionist measures going on in your country. So, if a particular process of deglobalization has the backing of the law with it, then you will say that protectionist measures are there in a particular country and the process of protectionism has started. Next, when we talk about the types of protectionism, there are three major types of protectionism, starting off with the tariffs. Tariff basically means that certain taxes have been imposed to curb the supply from the other country. So your imports, you want to curb your imports via increasing taxes on various goods and services. Next is your import quotas. Import quotas basically they limit the quantity. You are not willing to take, or you can say intake more quantity from the other nations and you want to curb the imports. Two factors determine this import quotas measure. First, you are very sure that your domestic manufacturers will be taking care of whatever demand is being created in your country. So you want your domestic manufacturing hub to be established. Second, you are apprehensive that if the particular curbs are not made in the for your particular country from which you are not interested in supplying the goods and services, then that particular country might reap the benefit, not you. So to promote the domestic manufacturing and reducing the India's dependency on the imported goods, we talk about the import quotas. Next is limiting the quality. Quantity you have limited via import quotas. How you will be limiting the quality? Via the sanitary and phytosanitary measures, that is non-tariff barriers. So non-tariff barriers talk specifically about creating or making the restrictions when it comes to the plant and animal health. So you will be telling XYZ nation that in our country a particular license is required if you want to supply this particular plant based product to us, or for that matter animal based product to us. Okay. So tariff, non-tariff and import quotas, highly important. When we talk about the keywords tariff, you know, tax. When there is a mention of import quotas, you are limiting the quantity. Quantity is getting reduced. Deliberately you are reducing the quantity which you want to import. And when we talk about the non-tariff barriers, you are limiting the quality. You have set a standard that beyond this we won't be encouraging any kind of import based on a particular quality. Next is dispute settlement mechanism, which is there for all the trade disputes, and it is being governed under the World Trade Organization. But what we must know that these types of disputes which are there in the world trade, they are not being encouraged or they are not being taken seriously by this particular mechanism, that is dispute settlement mechanism, for which it has been reinstated. What is the reason? We do not have the exact number of judges to take care of the immense number of cases which are going on. The trade disputes between one developing nation and the other developing nation, the trade disputes between one developed nation and the another developing nation. Second most important thing, the timelines. Whatever timelines are there in the WTO which it has prescribed, they are very long. So once supposingly XYZ nation is filing a complaint against the another nation that we have a trade relation, but I am here to complain about the trade practices of this particular nation. So you have submitted your case in front of the judge. Now the judge will give 30 days time to the other party to prove that this particular allegation is false and I am doing whatever was mentioned in the trade agreement. Next, after 30 days, that particular party over which the allegation has been made, they can come to the judge and say we want 15 days extension, and the extension can be up to 45 days. So you can see that the timelines are huge. There is no transparency, no accountability of the judges who are giving the judgments. Because of that only, this dispute settlement mechanism has been redundant since 2019, and WTO has ensured the member countries that by 2024 we will be doing our level best to reinstate this particular mechanism. But till now nothing has been done. Now let's see what will happen in 2026 when the ministerial conference of WTO will happen. Okay, so this was it from my side. Now let's see what are the answers. Now it's your turn to tell me the answers of these questions. Quickly tell me in the chat section. This chapter will have such kind of questions. I would say they are on the easier side when we talk about or when we compare it with the other chapters. Dash is the stage of globalization which involves cutting edge new technologies like AI, artificial intelligence, that powers forward with the explosion of information technology. So we are sitting right now in this particular era only. Just make a guess if you want to. Globalization 4.0, 3.0, 2.0 or none of the above. Artificial intelligence, definitely it is going on right now. Okay, so right now we are in globalization 4.0. So the correct answer will be option A. Next, the process of reducing the globalization, which involves the process of reducing trade dependency and integration amongst particular units throughout the world, is known as what? So you are reducing the trade dependency, whether it is protectionism, deglobalization, tariff barriers or any of the above. Quickly tell me, what is the right answer? Protectionism, when we talk about, it is being backed by a law. Okay, deglobalization backed by a law, that is protectionism. Deglobalization as a process, complete reversal of the process of globalization. Tariff barriers, basically you are asking for huge taxes. Any of the above if you feel so, but what will be the right answer? Simple process has been asked, so the correct answer will be deglobalization, that is option B. Okay, which organization popularized the globalization concept in mid 1980s? Whether it was WTO, OECD, IMF, or for that matter UNCTAD. Correct answer quickly everyone, as we have just learned that OECD in 1980s again resurrected the concept of globalization. So the correct answer will be again option B. Okay, so this was it from my side. If you have any kind of doubt, you can just ask me in the comment section or in the live chat if you are watching it live. Okay. So a piece of information for all of you, since this was just a part of unit number 6, if you want comprehensive coverage of the entire subject of IFS along with that the other subjects as well, then we have dedicated batches for you, and one batch is already running, that is the success batch. From 27th of June we will be starting off a new batch, a fresh batch, that is the increment batch. So comprehensive coverage along with the, you can say, doubt resolving sessions plus your interactive classes. Along with that you will be having the mock test unit wise plus the ebooks as well. So one stop solution, a package has been created so that you do not feel the need of going anywhere else. Everything will be dealt by us only. Okay, so if you are interested in clearing this exam in this attempt only, that is in November 2025 only, I would highly recommend to go through the batches which we have already launched. So Arjuna batch for the bilingual medium students, for you guys it is success batch, and again as I was telling you, from 27th of June you will be having a fresh batch, that is increment batch. Once you go to the website, that is Adda 247, click on all courses, under that JAIIB CAIIB, then JAIIB November 2025, and you will be redirected to the increment batch. Here you can find the details of the faculties, so go through these details as well. What all you can say study plan is there, you can just download from here and try to understand that how meticulously we have prepared this plan according to the real exam needs. Plus certain FAQs are also there, what all is included in this package, everything is written in this particular you can say web page. So if you want to buy this batch, just click on buy now, and after filling the personal details you can choose the payment method and apply the coupon code, that is Y1003 for maximum discounts. Okay, maximum discounts will be reflected once you apply this coupon code, and if you do the purchase today by midnight only, then apart from the additional discounts you will be getting the Amazon voucher worth rupees 500 as well. So what else do you need? Everything is there in this particular batch. Okay, fine. Okay, so any doubt, any kind of doubt, you can just ask me in the chat section. Okay, so if there is no doubt, so we'll meet in the next session. Till then, goodbye, take care, and do revise whatever we have studied in this particular session.